What's going on? What's happening? Hope everyone's having a great start to their day. I know I am, so I hope you guys are. Yeah, we're kind of getting into it. Yesterday, was a little bit rough. I will admit that, but glad to be back and have another opportunity to do something that I enjoy doing. Just let me know if the music is too loud again. I always appreciate that if you just let me know, so I don't, so it's not too loud. So we're gonna get into the business today. We traded down lower. We ended up trading into this this fair value gap and then traded lower. We have this daily order block right here. We failed to hit that, but on ES we actually traded up high enough to get that. So I think NQ is a little bit weaker. I'm just gonna zoom in on this chart. So we do have this fair value gap here I'm looking at. If we are bearish, we should hold this middle portion and trade lower. We also have this wick. So I'm looking at this wick and also this fair value gap to see if that's going to give us the ability to hold price lower, and thinking that we should see lower prices today. But, anything can happen. That's what I'm leaning towards. Again, the closer we get towards this, the more I'm going to have to wait until 10 o'clock to do anything if that's the case. Remember, I'm looking for about 49.75 is about the least I'll go. So it can't be pretty much here. If it comes back up into here at 9:30, I'm gonna have to wait, which is fine. I'm okay with waiting for a little bit more information, but that's what the criteria is for that. I just want to show this on the daily time frame. We have SMT here on the daily. This same exact low here on NQ is up here. On ES it is down here, so it's golden. So we have failed to hit that. We also have this low down here. So I think that we could be seeing some lower price action there, and it could end up trading below this and below this on ES. So NQ should have pretty much a similar price action. We should be looking for lower prices in my opinion. So I'm gonna put this back to the 15-minute chart because that's usually what it's on, but I just wanted to show you guys so you could see what those levels were. These equal highs up here, I do see that. So I'm wondering if we come up here first and then reject and go lower. I'm just trying to figure out what we're more likely to see based off where we are right now. I know this is ES, but based off where we are right now, I would expect us to trade lower first if we're going to end up coming up here. And if that is something that we'll be looking for, there's buy side clear there. I would expect us to come down here first and then do that, or we just come down here and continue to sink down to this lower sell side liquidity, which is what I would prefer, but we'll see kind of how the market ends up playing out. Again, this is the higher time frame chart, so we can kind of zoom out of that just so we have an idea of what this is. So if we go down to this chart, this is the wick on the hourly chart. Let's just go there just so you can see. So here's the wick. That's the consequent encroachment, or the midpoint of that wick, and here's the hourly fair value gap. So we expect this to hold price, not allow price to trade up any higher. At least with closing on the 1 minute chart, can come up there and create like a breaker or a stop run. That's what we'd be looking for, and then see if we can attack this sell side, because we fell just short of it, which to me looks like we could potentially still be looking for price down here. Sorry, I have my voice on the other one. It's kind of annoying because I can hear myself talk twice, so I'm turning that off right now. So this is the buy side. The clear sell side is there. You have a minor down here. So this, what I usually label this as, is an X. You see me guys do this. This is what I do for like my minor buy side or sell side. So minor would be up here, up there as well, but I don't need to annotate all that. But that's what I'll be looking for, this to hold price, and for us to use that and end up trading softer and lower. We do have SMT right now above this high. Let's go to that. See the similar high that hasn't been able to get it out yet, where this has taken it out. So it's possible. I do believe that NQ is a little bit weaker, because remember the low. Let's go to the daily time frame. Remember this same low that's right here on ES has not been taken out yet, whereas NQ it has. So NQ is a little bit weaker, in my opinion. And again, if there's anything that I'm saying and you don't understand, please just ask the question and I will explain it the best that I can. And I don't want anyone on here to feel like they have no idea what I'm talking about. I know it sounds like a different language, but if you have any questions, just always ask and I'll try my best to explain what I'm talking about, because it's also not only helpful for you, but it's also helpful for me to go over things and explain them deeper, so not only you understand them, but it also shows that I myself also understand what I'm saying and can clearly communicate that, because I think that that's important. So that's what we're looking for. I like this consolidation up here. I would like to see us pop up there again, maybe one more time, break lower, create a gap, and then trade down here. That's what I would be looking for. That would be my expectation going into today, and to see if we can attack this sell side. If not, it ends up not wanting to do that, then clear buy side is all up here. But that's what I would be expecting today. That's what I'd like to see today. Let's put this down to the 15-minute chart. So we did respect this. I do like that. We are getting a nice reaction away. So I do like that. Now again, it'd be very interesting is if we create a imbalance on the 15-minute chart here, and then also have an imbalance here, but I think that's very unlikely that it does that now, because we're already pretty much going to trade down into it. And these are the type of trades that I like, where if I was like extremely bullish, where like I say it hit something and had responded like this off of a level that I like, you know, these candles here overlap with this fair value gap, and so you also have this 1 minute fair value gap that overlaps with all the other things that I just kind of explained over here. That to me would be of interest to me. But remember, because I am already looking for sell side today, that's not something that to me that is of any importance. I want to see us stay below this, like this line, this and below, that's not a word, this and lower or below is what I want to see us hold. I don't want to see us be trading up here, right? And if we can even get below this candle here, which would be a nice breaker, and trade lower from here and create something, that gives us enough opportunity to look for something. And also it could, if it wants to, or is it expand, we have these lows down here. So it is something that we could see. But that's what I want to see us stay below this. So about 13 minutes until the market opens. Now I wouldn't want to see this happen pre-market or before 9:30 or right at 9:30. If that is the case, then you know that's what it is for today. And we'll kind of see what else it kind of gives us today. I'm not gonna try to do make the same mistake as yesterday, trying to be too perfect. I'm just gonna get into the trade. That's what happened yesterday. It was just a mistake on my part, trying to be too precise, and it just didn't trade up high enough. So now we're just gonna, you know, get into the trade. I mean, it was 6 handles of drawdown, nothing even crazy, and I was trying to limit that. So just a mistake, but we learned from it. So again, if I was bullish, this would be immediate rebalance. You have an order block there, 5-minute breaker, 5-minute fair value gap with a order block. You have a breaker block here with this wick. So again, if I was looking for higher prices, this to me would be a perfect setup. That's something that I would like. But Again, I'm not looking for higher prices. I want to see us trade lower. We do have a little bit of SMT here, so we can kind of note that from this high to this high. I'm just gonna go like this. This goes there, this is there, there's SMT here. So we know that. And why is that important? If it's in fact bearish and this is able to hold, this lets us know that this is a stop run. So like when people buy turtle soups or sell turtle soups, they're selling above an old high in this, and they're expecting to take it off there, and ultimately down there. So this right here, you'll see me sell some of these. So pretty much here, I'll explain this. A turtle soup, pretty much, you're taking a turtle soup when you trade into a fair value gap, right? Because if you go to a low enough time frame, you'll see the same thing, right? So I'm gonna highlight this right here. We have some time to talk about it. So I'm gonna highlight this right here. I'm gonna make it like bold and be a color that you guys can see, so you can understand what I'm talking about. Let's make it like so big, and then we'll do it like that, or like that. We'll do that. So a turtle soup, what does that actually mean? We're gonna go to a lower time frame to see it. So let's go to a 15-second chart. There it's gonna be a little bit. Let's go to a 5-second chart. Here you go. So, oh, it doesn't show. Hold up, I'm sorry. Need to have this show on all time frames. Current, interval, and below. Let's do that. So you guys will see what I'm talking about here. So, turtle soups are pretty much anytime you trade into a fair value gap, you're taking a turtle soup setup. Because if you go down to a lower time frame, see you have a swing high, it goes up here, and this is trading up into the fair value gap. So when you trade up into it, this is what you call a turtle soup sell. So anytime you're trading into a fair value gap or trading down into a fair value gap, it's always a turtle soup. That's how they always start. So you technically, or I technically do trade turtle soups, but not in the sense of on a time frame where like I just showed you above, right? So if we go to the 1-minute chart, this same setup here where you're trading into the fair value gap and you sell it, this is the same thing happening on a higher time frame. It's the same thing. Notice how you have this is an hourly fair value gap, right? Here, let's show you. Hourly fair value gap. See how we have an hourly fair value gap here? Look at this high. So I'll put the same line there so we can see that. That's the same high. Notice that you have this high, but you also have this high. So a turtle soup is taken above a high. So it's literally the same thing, right? But just not on, I just don't take it off of this, but that's the same idea or the same principle that you take. So everything is pretty much turtle soup, in my opinion. That makes sense. I don't know if I confuse people. Hopefully not. But if I did, just let me know. But I'll try my best to unconfuse you. But yeah. So we're getting nice reaction from what we want to see. We've about 8 minutes until the market opens. Again, we're looking for down here. We don't want to see it run too much because we want to see if we can get an opportunity to get in alignment with what is going to happen. My mind is kind of telling me that we may see like just a straight run down here just because of how close we are, but hopefully we get some type of retracement, especially if we can close below this candle here. There's a breaker there, and if we can get some type of gap, I would take it going shorter to here because I did the measurements. There's already more than 50 handles, so I'm willing to take that. Again, anything less than 50 handles, it's not really in something that I would like to see personally. I wouldn't enter that trade even if it's high probability. With the signatures, I want to see something where I at least have 50 handles to go to that area. That's my preference. So again, just want to make sure we are not too close up here, because if we are, we have to, or I have to wait until 10 o'clock, which again is fine. I'm okay with waiting. But that's just what we have to follow rules. So in order for me to be consistent, in order for me to still continue with a 70% win rate, I have to follow rules. So that's what I must do. Does anyone have any questions about anything I've even said in the past or anything that I talked about today? That's a nice move down. Look how quick that was, quick and sudden. That's what happened yesterday, right? When I was trading, I was looking forward to get into the trade. It didn't trade up high enough, and then literally the next candle just dumped, right? So it's always fun to see when you're in the trade. When you're not in the trade, that's not fun to see, because then you have to wait a little bit. Want to see if we can trade down here and take this sell side out. I'll just remind everyone where the sell side is, just so you know what I'm talking about. It's right here, this low there. That's the sell side I'm targeting. I want to see if this can get down there as well. So that's what we're looking for there. Again, we have nice SMT right here. This high was not able to go above that high. We fell short. The wick as well. Let's look to see where the bodies are closing. If we grade this, so they're unable to close up to the 50%, and we were pretty much in the lower quarter. So that's nice to see that there. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking for here. See if we can get something today. Again, just have to be patient and not rush into anything today. So I know Trump talks at 9 p.m. today. Also just want to make sure they didn't throw anything in there. No. So that's good. This could have just been wiping people out. I mean, when you see that, I don't like seeing that in trades like right before. Well, let me take that back. If I'm like a CPI or NFP, something like that, that's when I'd rather see something like this. But we have no news today of any importance. And so seeing this like right now, to me, I don't like. But that's more or less what I mean. But like, let's say we have like a CPI or an NFP where we come wipe these people out and then come up here. That's what you expect to see. That would be my expectation. Notice how we also have a 5-minute fair value gap here. Let's show that as well. And where the lower portion of this hourly. So here's a 5-minute fair value gap right here. That supports the direction of what we're looking for, and I would expect this candle here to hold price and then for us to trade lower. That would be my expectation after seeing this occur. Again, I don't want to see it just rip down there right away, but you know, what's going to happen is going to happen regardless. But that's what I'd want to see. This is to me like overlapping. Like when I start to see overlapping, that's what I would expect. So this 5-minute fair value gap here, 5-minute order block. We got a 1-minute. This would be a breaker with the fair value gap. The bodies are telling the story. Order block here would expect us to then trade down here, there, and ultimately tag down here. That would be my expectation. We've about the the market opening in about a minute, a little less than a minute now. So let's see what we get. So we had, I said we see what we get. It almost sounded like I was speaking German. We get. So that took out the low. So also we know that Dow doesn't necessarily play a huge part, but I just want to note that it did take out the low there. So we'll see what we get in about 20 seconds. So is anyone learning any languages? I feel like it's kind of cool. I think my girlfriend speaks like 100 languages, I think, at this point. Something like that. Okay, so the market's open. Remember this 1 minute order block. We would expect price to trade lower and hold it, and then ultimately attack this low. That's what we'd be looking for. Again, don't want to see too many wicks today, because we start seeing a whole bunch of wicks. Probably going to end up staying out and may end up trading the PM session. That's not the type of price action that we want to see in what just happened to the chart. It's just gone. Yo, that's weird. It just went away. I don't know what just happened. It just went away. Yes, Rima, 100 languages. That's what, at least that's what it feels like. It could be wrong. So here we go. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. It just stopped trading, I guess. I don't know. So here we are. So we had enough of a range here. I just like to note this out so I know where things are. What is it? 23. Dang, I feel like a newbie right now. There we go. So nothing of importance has really happened right now. I used to, again, always think that I was going to miss out on trades because as I was trying to do the map out this range so I know where it is. But yeah, literally never happens that way. So Dow just took a dump. Oops, wrong one. Just took a dump down below. That's what we're expecting here. This is showing a little bit more, I'll say a little bit more patience, I guess is what I call it. So, well, it did not create a gap there. So again, nothing for us to do there. I would have liked that better if it would have done that. I don't want to see it just run down here and take out this low. Preferably, I would not like to see that, but can do whatever it's going to do. So ES is close to this low. It's going to take it, I believe it's going to take it out. But we have to wait to see what we can get here. But I'm expecting this to just kind of roll over. So ES now took it out. So we took that out. So ES did take out its low. And then we've come right back up since then. Again, we're pretty much overlapping every run. That's not my favorite thing to see in trades, because we're not leaving any gaps. Like this breaker, trading up into it there, trading down is nice. We're close to the sell side. That's what I would expect. I do think we're gonna end up trading lower, but the problem is right now I'm not finding a way in that looks clear on this chart. Like we had talked about this order block here being able to hold price and take us lower, but again, I don't trade beforehand. This is just what I'd want to see. And then look how the order block still didn't get overran. We had a 5-minute order block there as well. but there's really nothing. There's really nothing there right now. Too many wicks. Oh, what's good, teacher? How you doing, bro? How you doing? You looking at anything? Yeah, so this failure to go down there, and I'm watching ES. I wonder if, because we have a lot of wicks right now. So I'm wondering if we may want to come up there. But again, nothing here is clear right now. Nothing there of importance for me, other than, you know, this low and failure to do that. That was nice, but it failed to hit this sell side liquidity where where ES did take this out right now. You see how? But on the daily time frame, right? We got to go back to that. This is that same low. We finally took it out there. So this is that low. This is the low up here. I believe it could come down a little bit lower, but we just have to be a little bit more patient right now, just because of how it's trading and what it looks like on the lower time frames. Like this right now is nothing that I want to get in. Not at all. Now the only thing that I kind of see that I do like, but this has to hold. This has to stay there. If this ends up, well, yeah, now it's done. See, that I don't like. This is not price action that I really like right now. So I probably most likely gonna have to end up waiting a little bit longer. Maybe what happens here is we create a gap below this low. Again, I'm looking for excitement in trades, right? I'm not just trying to rush into a trade just to take one. Have to show patience and willingness to show some type of movement or excitement away. Because the only thing we had right here is this 5-minute order block or 5-minute fair value gap that was in the lower portion of a 1 hour fair value gap. So that to me makes more sense. But right now, the fact that we could not take this out and what we're doing here is showing a little bit more, I'll say, excitement to the upside, which is a little bit more thinking that we could probably come up here, or maybe want to run a little bit higher and take out this buy side, because that to me is a little bit more important. But have to see, you know, what's happening here, right? I'm not just going to buy it just because it's running up higher. Again, for me, I love seeing things that overlap, things that make sense. And when you start to see that, that to me gives me a little bit more confidence in trades when I take them. So again, nothing yet that shows anything to the upside. Just because we run up higher, it does not mean that we're going to go up there. I want to see us overlap. Like we have an inversion, we have a fair value gap here. If we're going to go higher, I want to see us show a lot of strength up here, close above this, which would then turn this, and how I usually do it is this color. You guys see in my trades. And inversion fair value gaps are probably one of my favorite things to do, to look at in charts when I see them. I want to see them essentially show up in my charts, and I like them to get closed above. And notice how we have this breaker here. It did take out this but failed to go here. I want to see how this 5-minute closes. That to me is a little bit more importance. And if we can close up there with some strength, because we've got 2 minutes left, right? I want to see that, because what would usually happen when I'd be in trades is I'd see this gap here, right? And let's say it traded down to here, and it wouldn't close above this. So then I'd be in a trade and I'd end up losing. So those were things that I started to see and started to notice, and I didn't like that in my trades. So I'm okay with just waiting to kind of see how does it actually close and then what happens. So that's essentially what I'm waiting for. This buy side may be in jeopardy right now, and if we can close bullishly above this, I will like this and not obviously go too far away. We do have this gap here. We do have an order block here on the 5-minute chart, which would overlap with this. So if we can close up there bullishly and not run too far away, and then have this fair value gap here, which would be the first presented fair value gap, we can trade down into that. I would take that, but this can't be closing down below or show too much weakness, or else there's nothing there for me to do yet. That's kind of how I trade. Because again, like, yes, you have this wick. We have about 35 seconds left. I don't necessarily like this yet. So this fair value gap here with this order block, what I would do is I would wait to see this reaction from here. So I wouldn't just buy it just because it's there. I wouldn't just do that. Because look how it's closing now. This is what I'm talking about, right? It doesn't mean that it still can't happen, but I don't like that, right? This can still go up higher. I would wait. And the only reason why I'd wait is because look at that close. Like, to me, I don't want to be in that. The way that it just closed and like where I'd be entering right now, I don't want that. That to me is not a high probability trade because it didn't overlap what I was looking for. Now, if we come down here and create a gap over top of this, then I'm okay with that. I like that. I like that a lot better, but I'm not just buying it down here just because it came down here, right? That to me, I don't like. I didn't like that close. So for me, it's just the way to kind of sit and watch just for a little bit more. Because we're inside the first presented fair value gap. We kind of close both ways. ES has still not kind of shown the strength that I would like to see in the trade. So I just have to be a little bit more patient here. Hey teacher, do you see anything? This is a turtle soup, by the way. This up here is what I was talking about earlier. That's a turtle soup. But teacher, do you see anything today? Are you trading indexes or are you trading FX? So again, imagine if I would have bought this, right? I would tell you exactly where my stop loss would be. My stop loss would be right here. Do you think I feel very comfortable right now in this trade? Would you guys feel comfortable watching this where my stop loss would be? No, I'm sure you wouldn't. Neither would I. And that's what I ended up seeing in my trades, where I was like, I have to let this close. I'm not just gonna buy that there because it looks good. Like, every time I would do that, I lose. Trust me, I would not feel comfortable with this right here, with where it was. It can do what it's gonna do now, let's say it goes up a little bit higher, but I'm letting you know I would have bought it there, and my stop loss would be sitting right there. I'm telling you, I would not feel comfortable in that trade. I wouldn't feel comfortable at all. So now we have 2 minutes left. I would love to see us create a fair value gap and then start to expand lower if that's possible. But what I like here is if we can do that is this. Notice how this held, so this is no longer a inverse, at least right now it's not. See, I would have been stopped out right there. Would have been in the trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 minutes and would have been stopped out immediately almost. So this is a 5-minute order block. That's what this is. So if we can create a gap here and trade back up into it, I'm okay with taking that because of what it's done. But this gap has to stay open, and if it does that, then I will take the trade. But that needs to stay open here. This gap has to stay open in the next 1 minute and 30 seconds. Current interval only. If it does that, stop loss would go up above here, and I would look for 50 handles, but for us to trade lower. That'd be my thought process right here. So it looks something like this, but we'd have to, that would have to hold. Again, can't come up too much. But this would be the trade setup in about oh, see, it would have hit it, and that's why I don't get in. See, it would pretty much been very, very quick. So that's no longer valuable for me. It's not an option. Look at all the wicks. All right. Look at all the wicks there. So to me, I'm a little bit more hesitant to actually start getting in or putting on a trade right now because of all the wicks right now. I don't like this type of price action. And that's why I was waiting for it to close below. You see, I didn't want to get in. I would have been stopped out immediately there too as well. Right, 2 quick, immediate losses. So, again, that's why I wait. I don't just get into trades just because it looks like it's setting up. Like, it has to set up. It can't look like it. That needs to be a, oops, fair value gap. That's the wrong thing. The 5-minute chart. Again, things need to, like this right here, we've done nothing since 9:30. Like, look, here is we trade up to constant encroachment, which is nice, of the gap, but look, we've done nothing. So I'm not in a rush to get in. We've literally done nothing. Right? We've traded sideways. We've traded up, down, sideways. This is where we are right now. This looks very clean in my opinion. But let's go back to this. So when those things overlap, because if you look at yesterday, right? Yesterday it looked nothing like this. I do think that the way ES looks, it does look like we potentially could be looking to trade a little bit softer. It was able to close below that low, but this is just being a little bit choppy right now. So just got to sit and be a little bit more patient than normal. And again, if it wants to go higher, we have 3 minutes. It'll close above, and then this buy side. That's how I would trade this. But it has to. Things have to look similar on the 5, the 4. I'm sorry, the 5. Excuse me, the 15, the 5, and then the 1 minute. This is where you blow your accounts and you get mad and you get angry. In days that look like this, I'm not trying to be in that. I don't want to be involved in this right now. Until it's very clear, there's too many wicks right now. So for me, that's just showing me I just need to be a little bit more patient until things start to overlap and make sense. Because right now it doesn't look like that. Right now it looks like it's just chopping everybody up right now. Because right now it's like, okay, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. Like, what are we actually doing right now? To me, I think we're just generating liquidity, but also chopping people up in this small little range. So then they break out above here. It fails. They go short. They try to break out below this thing. It doesn't. It comes back in. So we keep going to the middle of the range. So there's nothing to do there yet. Nothing to do. And why I watch ES at the same time, I want to see similar things, right? Right now we have ES showing a little bit more weakness, and NQ is kind of showing, I'll say, a little bit of strength, not a lot. Look how Dow just completely just dumped. So I'm just watching. I'm watching and observing, like, are the levels that I put out, are they being respected, or are they just getting ran through? And right now what I'm visually seeing are levels just getting ran through, like they're non-existent. That's what they look like to me right now. Things just getting tossed around, and those are not trades that I want to be in. I don't want to be in trades where things are just going back and forth. Because if you would have seen, if I would have taken this trade, which I explained why I didn't like it, I'd been stopped out. And then this one, I explained that why, if it would have done something else, I would have taken it, but it didn't do it. It pretty much ran up here before this and closed above this candle. So for me, that's not a viable trade. I don't want to take it. not interested. Now we do have some like clean highs up here. We do have the new day opening gap, which is about 20,525. Again, we could trade lower, but I need to see that response. Look at all these wicks up here. I mean, the bodies are telling a nice story that we're not able to close inside of this fair value gap as of right now on the 5-minute chart. Let me just make this so it can be seen. The bodies, even look here, we've started to see a little bit of precision right here, right in the 5-minute chart. We ran through it, we ran through it here. My mind is telling me to, if we can close below this, take this short here. That's what my mind is telling me to do, right here. If we can close below here strongly, take this short now, because we started to see a little bit of precision elements, but we see we didn't even do that there either. This would be a very aggressive short. Very, very aggressive short. But yeah, taking it here, we saw precision here, and then look to take out this and ultimately see if we can take this out. I want to see a fair value gap though. That's personally what I want to see. Oh, you just took a short? Yeah, it's nice. Nice. I think that I now think that we're ready and probably primed to go lower. I just want to see a fair value gap form. And if I can see a fair value gap form, then I'll be willing to take this short. But until then, I'm not. Yeah, like my mind was like, take a short right now at this order block here, which you see would have been pretty much, I mean, immediate response. So that's nice. But I want to see us I want to see us create a fair value gap first, and then I'm willing to take this trade lower. Yeah, that's a nice short, teacher. Nice short. Yeah, the bodies here for me are telling the story that we don't want to go higher, but and ES is kind of taking out its low as well. So ES is still targeting this low. So I think that we're now starting to see that cohesiveness in my opinion there. Starting to see a little bit of that. But just for me, just too many wicks for my liking right now. There's a gap here. I do see that. Just too many wicks in my opinion. Too much. Yeah, I'm okay with waiting a little bit longer for precision elements, but they're definitely there now in my opinion. I think that they're there. I think that this there kind of started it, and inside of here that's no longer relevant, so I can go off. We have what, 2 minutes left? So just for me, it's yeah, I do think we're gonna go lower. I just don't like the choppiness right now, just for me, but I do think that we're gonna trade a little bit lower. ES is kind of trading down a little bit deeper. Let me show you. Yeah, it's showing weakness here. So this, I believe, is gonna finally catch up to it, but I think it's just, I don't know why it's holding in my opinion. I'm not sure why it's holding, but it is holding a little bit longer. A little bit longer than I would like personally, but it's holding. So this is what you call a high resistant condition. You see how it's like having a hard time trading down below this low and down here. Notice how yesterday, when I traded up in that fair value gap, it was gone almost immediately, right? It didn't spend a lot of time in there. We're spending a little bit too much time. A little bit too much time. It should be going lower. So this is the first time that we've traded below, and it looks like we'll hold this bearish order block and see how we have a 1 minute order block there, and accompanied with that we have what, 12 seconds. Can we close can we close below it, or are we going to continue to chop around like this? This needs to be on this time frame. So again, barely closed below it. Yeah, just this price action, I'm not really liking it right now. Not liking it. I just have to be very, very patient, like very, very patient right now. Yeah, this is hard to watch. Yeah, like this doesn't look like any of the other days you've seen me trade on. It doesn't have this signature. So it's telling me it's a little bit low probability. Now for me, it's like if we can get some fair value gap, I'd take it because I like this. Yes, no problem. It's just, yeah, these are the days that you just blow your accounts because you're trying to predict so much rather than kind of just letting it do what it's going to do. Right now, it's just chopping back and forth right now. We could even go to ES, right? ES looks a little bit better, right? Slightly better. Not so much, but looks slightly better. But look at this. This looks like a heart attack. That's what that looks like. And so I don't want one, so I'm not gonna get in this because this isn't comforting. Like I wouldn't feel good buying right now or selling right now. Either or, I would feel off. I believe from what we've done here and the precision from here, I believe that we'll attack this low, but it's not. It's holding. It's just holding. And I'd rather not take a trade and miss something than be in this trading heart attack. Barcode. That's what we call it, a barcode. This is what it looks like. And this is like also I could be potentially called I mean, it's not a whole day. A whole day you would call it seek and destroy in terms of like how it goes up and it's going down and going up and going down. A whole day like this is called seek and destroy. That's what you actually call it. But we are getting the response from the levels that we were looking for in terms of going lower. We're holding this right now. So that's why I'm favoring still the downside, but there's no entry right now. Like I would not take this and feel comfortable that it's not going to come back up. And again, I just want to demonstrate this. We've done nothing. We've done absolutely nothing. So I'm going to do nothing. If it doesn't want to do anything, I'm not going to do anything. Yeah, teacher. Yeah, break even for say, because right now this looks like it's just a chop fest right now. Yeah, if I was in a trade, like if I caught anything up here or up here, I would definitely be break even, and I would be okay with what happens, because right now this is just chopping back and forth. I believe it's gonna go lower because I'm looking at ES. I'm looking. I think. Let's go to the daily time frame. I just want to make sure. I think those are the same lows. Yeah, they're the same lows. ES is so close, but it's like NASDAQ wants to give you a heart attack before trading down to the same low. So I don't want to get one. We're watching. Yeah, I guess you could kind of expect this in terms of yesterday we had a pretty large range day. So you can kind of expect this in the morning. See, for me, this is exciting right now. If it can hold this, that to me is a little bit more exciting and not just wick down and wick back up. If it kind of moves away, that to me is more exciting before taking out that low. I'd be willing to take a trade, but I mean, how far do I actually, how far do I actually think? Yeah, okay, so now I hit the low. So we finally hit the low that we were looking for here. So they finally both hit it. So now what is interesting to me is how do we respond? And we'll probably just tank. This up here, will not feel comfortable taking that. Have to kind of wait for a pullback. I cannot just sell this right now. Cannot sell it right now. But yeah, that's a nice expansion below here. Again, thinking that, but to be honest, there's no part in here that I would sell. If it would have kind of came down here, created a fair value gap, and then did this, I would have sold, but it didn't do that. So nothing we can do there. The next lowest sell side I see there on the daily time frame is down there. But we'll be waiting. So that's the 10 o'clock candle, pretty much. So 9:59 and 10 o'clock, it ran down there. So if we look at here again, this is the gap that we only have here on the 1 minute chart. You have a little bit breaker. We could trade up into that. I'm not sure if I actually trust that yet because of where we are. Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, this. Yeah, I'm not going to sell that. I don't like how we were holding right below that low. That's not something for me that I'd be willing to sell. And I do see, I'm okay with waiting for this, and if it does something else and then creates another one, again, this is where I would be looking for down here. Down there if that's possible. Again, because right now we have a 5 minute, so we have 3 minutes left. So in a 5 minute candle. So what I'd like to see is us hold this. If we can hold this and trade up into this, I may be willing to take that trade. I may be willing to take that trade. Maybe willing to take that one. But we gotta see, because this is ultimately the other target that we could be looking for on the daily time frame. We're close to this weekly fair value gap as well. And so how far away are we from that? Just from, yeah. So we're good enough distance away. What level is that? I just want to make sure I have that on my chart. 20,150. So let's put that on this chart. 20,000. It's not that far away, in my opinion. Yeah, that's not that far away for me to take a trade, even though it's right there. I thought about taking that off the order block, but it's just not far enough away for me to take it just right there. So we'll see what we're gonna get here. We shall see, because this is like the top end of the weekly fair value gap, and just from this entry there, I mean, pretty much my trade would look like this. It looked like this, but I'm just gonna wait. It looked like this. That's what the trade would look like, but I don't think that for me that's not enough distance. So I want to see if in the 5-minute chart we can close below here. We have a minute left, and then maybe trade up into this. And then I want to see the reaction, because if we have a nice reaction, then I'll sell it up here. I like this a little bit better than I do this. That is not right. So want to see what reaction we get here. We are below sell side, so that's a little bit more of my, I wouldn't say concern, but that's why I want to see. We have about, what, 20 seconds left. I want to see what we do up here, because I'm not for certain that this won't come up here and run all this stuff. So I'm okay with waiting to see the reaction that we get up inside of here, and then definitely we have enough room down to there, to here, and let's see if we can get down to the sell side liquidity down there. So this to me is I want to see it trade higher. Then once we get inside of that fair value gap, I want to, if we can, I want to see us reject. And then if we can reject, that gives me more confidence in this trade to take it short. But can't just take it short because it's down there. Right, see, I would have been stopped out entering off this. I'd rather wait for this to set up or fail to get there, because a reaction lower, or a quick reaction lower, can give us something there. So failure there is important there as well, but need to see a reaction that is congruent with what we want to see. It could leave it open. And what I'm looking for, if it does leave it open and shows not too many wicks, then I'd be willing to take it off of this. But it needs to show that, right? Almost an immediate rebalance on the 15-minute chart, which would be nice. And again, we may not get anything today, which I'm okay with. Again, we were looking for lower prices, but we may not get anything. So this right here, if we can do that, I'll sell it if it trades up into it. I just sold it. Oh, I forgot you can't do that. I forgot about that. This is annoying. I forgot about that. I guess be sell limit here. No, not sell limit. That's what I did last time on accident. A buy limit, buy stop. There, and then a buy stop here. Yeah. So what I keep forgetting about this, what I don't like is when I do this, because in the paper trading one I can drag them up and below. I don't like that in this one. You don't do that. You don't get that opportunity to do that. You actually have to kind of wait. So this is the level that we're looking for in terms of the weekly chart. That's what we're looking to see if we can tag down into that. I believe that these wicks up here gave us an indication that we shouldn't come back up, and I'm looking to see if we can attack down here towards this weekly imbalance there. Ultimately targeting down here, and that's what we're going to be looking for to see if we can do that. I don't want to see us start to pull back up here. I will move my stop loss there to the top of that and just let it go. I want to see us start to trade a little bit lower. Don't want to see us there. Could have been a little bit too premature on the entry, but I believe that the 5-minute fair value gap would hold. We do have this order block there, and so that's technically what I'm looking for, but we'll see if we can get that. This may stop us out, which is fine, but I'm okay with this, the process and what I did with entering there. I believe that this is my goodness, a propulsion block, and I believe that we should target this down here. That's my thought process. So the shallow runs, I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but we'll see what we get here. I might end up, I honestly don't even think that that's 50 handles. It's not. So 50 handles is here. So we'll see if that's something that we can get there. I don't like the stalling. It's stalling a little bit too much for me. ES is trading a little bit lower, so we should see that continuation through this level. At this moment, I'm gonna go slightly ahead here. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there. Stops to slightly below break even, and lock in the pizza and see what we can get here. So I'm expecting this to trade down to this level. Just want to show you we're almost there. So we'll see if we get that. We may not. We may get stopped out in profit, but that's what I'm looking for. From where it is and where my stop loss was and everything, I wouldn't want to see it. There we go. So got stopped out. I don't think that it would have. It should be coming back up here for technically what it did. So that's the trade, and I'm glad and happy with my decision. Potentially could have waited a little bit more, but I thought that it should not have come up there. I don't know if I made anything on this trade, pretty much, but that was a trade setup, and I was looking for us to see if we could trade down to this weekly level, and we fell short of it. Fell short, and just where my stop loss was and how it was kind of holding down here, it should have already been trading a little bit lower, and it wasn't, and that's why I moved my stop loss up, which I'm happy about. So you know, that's the I need to take this out, because if you don't, it'll buy it from there. So that's the trade setup. It could eventually come back up into here and then sell, but it's not anything that I was really not looking for that. This would have stopped me out. As you see, my stop loss was right there, so it would have taken that. I do now realize I can't just start selling automatically. I have to actually set it up and then sell it, because I hate that that's how it does it on here, but that's just the process with that. So again, I only take one trade a day, so that's the only trade that I'm allowed to take. And yeah, it didn't go all the way down here. Again, it fell short. That's fine. This was the only trade setup that made sense. Up here, I didn't trust that either because of the 5 minute, and because we failed, it had wicks to go below. this, I took it off of this order block, excuse me, to see if we could trade down lower, and we didn't get that. We ended up coming back up, which is, it's fine. So yeah, I don't know if I'd be willing to take it up here. Like if we would have gone through all this and kind of came up here, I don't know if I would actually be willing to take that. I do believe it's gonna trade a little bit softer. It just went up a little bit higher than what, for my liking, and instead of going down here, it kind of went a little bit higher. I do believe we'll end up hitting down here. Do we have enough to get down to here today? That I don't know. Not necessarily sure about that, but from where this was and trading down there, I felt comfortable doing that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, because this is the only trade pretty much that I can take today. And Thursday I'm off. I won't trade Thursday because it's the day before NFP. So, but my thought process is we're still coming down here, and just got unlucky in terms of it wanting to trade higher before trading lower. That's just, it's a part of trading. So, but yeah, thank you for everyone that was on. I appreciate you guys for staying in and stopping by. I think I probably made let me check on the other one. Actually, I don't think I can check here because I don't want to show my my stuff on here. Oh, it'll be on my story with what was yeah, whatever was made or lost, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm fortunate it came up higher before going lower. It is what it is, right? You can't be upset about that. So looking for there and ultimately a little bit lower. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'll be on tomorrow again at 9:10. I hope you guys have a great day for trading. If not, still I hope you have an amazing day, and I will catch you guys on the next stream tomorrow. Peace out.